Ist es nicht immer wieder schön, mit dem Council zu reden? Sie sind immer so unterstützend. Nicht? Und wir jetzt seitdem irgendwelche neuen Nachrichten erhalten eigentlich. Oh. Ship status report from Navigator Charles Presley, XO. Welcome back, Commander. While you were away on mission, things here on the Normandy were uneventful. The most excitement we had up here was upon your return. I must say, it would have been rather thrilling to watch those lava geysers erupt if we hadn't been swinging around in our harnesses as Joker avoided them. Commander, I know we spoke about this before, but I have to ask, is it wise to have another alien aboard the Normandy? Especially one with close ties to Saren's top lieutenant? She might say she hasn't spoken with her mother, but how do we know she's telling the truth? I don't mean to be inflammatory, nor question your decisions. I just think caution ought to be warranted. Ja, gut, ich kann Charles da irgendwie auch verstehen ein bisschen. Hat er was
Yes,
zu sagen?
Commander.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes,
Nö.
ma'am.
Hat keinen extra Dialog hier. Sag mal noch mal. Schauen wir noch mal nach unseren Kameraden. Hey Doc. Nur auf dem Durchweg.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Hast du was durchgemacht, Liara? Normal, dass wir mal nachschauen gehen.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Der Doc?
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Das freut zu hören, Liara.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Klingt ganz schön einsam.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
Ja gut, du bist ja noch jung, Liara. Du hast noch 9 Jahrhunderte vor dir.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Ah, Liara. Komm mal runter, beruhig dich.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Alles okay, Liara, alles okay.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Was denn?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
Und die anderen?
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure.
Oh.
Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Also ich wollte die ersten Asari, die mit anderen Spezies in Kontakt gekommen sind, so reagiert haben, als sie herausgefunden haben, dass andere bei weitem nicht so lange leben wie sie selbst. Und vor allem die erste andere Spezies, die die Asari getroffen haben, waren die Salarianer. Und das sind die am kürzesten lebende Spezies. Na gut, auf dem zweiten Platz, aber die andere kennen wir noch nicht an diesem Punkt in Mass Effect. die ja nur 40 Jahre leben, wenn es hochkommt. Vielleicht mit viel Glück bis 50 und dann ist aber schon wirklich Sense. Das muss ziemlich die Learning Experience gewesen sein.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Die Olera. Hey, ja, was lässt sich was zu sagen?
Commander, do you have a minute?
I
Klar.
always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
Was du nicht sagst, Caden.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Or maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
I didn't go through bot training for my biotics. Tell me about...
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Ach, wie nice.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
And you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Ah ja.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I pretty much gave up waiting for the good part.
Bad habit, ma'am. I do tend to run off at the mouth. I will work on it for my next review. Sorry to have wasted your time, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Das war eigentlich das, worüber ich mit dem reden wollte.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. She seems nice enough. Hard to believe she's older than both of us put together.
Just remember, Lieutenant, I saw her first.
They do say Asari are open to that sort of thing, ma'am.
Ah ja,
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
da sind schon wieder Gerüchteküche und so weiter am Start. Scuttlebutt, wie die ja sagen. Okay, nein. Ich krieg First Steps on Liara. Okay. Hi, Ash.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
Ash.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Schade drum eigentlich.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure, I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
Ja, immer.
I keep an open-door policy. If you have any concerns, lay 'em on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
Hast du ein Problem mit Aliens? Sieht mir so aus.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Verbündete sind immer besser, wenn sie vertrauenswürdig sind.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
I come from a military family, too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family we might know?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
Ja, nicht nur. Aber Weltraum ist toll.
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
What?
Don't tell me you had Gunny Ellison. He's the only one who uses that word to describe shirking duty.
Oh, Lord. You went to the Makapog boot camp, too? Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
Ja, du bist doch eine super Soldatin.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Verstehe, wo es herkommt, Ashley, aber vielleicht ein bisschen offener, okay?
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
Ja. Was immer was du sagst, Ash. Was immer du sagst. Ich werde dich dran erinnern.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I
Like
guess.
what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
Endlich.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
Gut.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Ich kann schon irgendwo verstehen.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Ja. Aber das heißt nicht, dass wir auf das gleiche Level hinabsteigen sollten.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Bei meinem Garrus.
Looking for supplies?
Ey, Loyos, was machst du da? Hi. Na? Geht's?
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
So, wir können jetzt sicher mal einen Haufen Krempel wieder loswerden. Ja, ich habe gesagt so, also ich habe mir gesagt so, zumindest bis Mitternacht und dann schauen wir mal, wie lange es mich noch freut. Ja, jetzt ist es fast 2, aber ich glaube, ich werde es nicht mal so lange machen. Hier noch meine Runde drehen auf der Normandy und dann mal schauen, ob sonst überhaupt noch jemand hier ist. So, gibt's wieder irgendwas Neues hier? Nee. Das ist ja auch alles nicht unbedingt besser als das Zeug, das ich schon hatte. Gerade einen Mitternachtsnack gehabt. Oh, was hast du gesnackt, Gutes? Hey, Terry.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Oh?
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me. Especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just a silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
No. I'm Italy.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
Vielleicht, wer weiß. Okay. Wenn sie mehr wollen.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I should go.
See you later.
Erdnussbutter Erdbeersandwich. Die mit Erdnussbutter, weiß ich nicht, habe ich noch nie probiert. Aber Erdbeer ist immer gut. Da machst du nichts falsch. Nom nom. So.
Den wir jetzt mit.
Ach nee, mit Rex. Na egal. Nächstes Mal. Mit allen außer Rex, auf den ich jetzt vergessen habe, geredet haben. Glaube ich. Ah, Mail von Werner. Gleich mal weg. Come down to the cargo bay, want to talk to you about 7. Ja, nächstes Mal. Message from Liara. I hope you don't mind me sending you a message like this. It may not be appropriate. I'm sure you have a lot of important business to take care of and I wouldn't want to bother you. But I just learned that you have developed an interest for the works of Matriarch Delinaga. I thought it would be worth informing you that I have copies of 4 of her writings. I'm sending them to you immediately. Those writings have had profound meaning and importance for the Zari race, and deeply influenced our beliefs and philosophies. I could talk about this for days, but this is not the place. Of course, if you read them and want to share some thoughts, I would love to hear and discuss it. I apologize once again for bothering you with this. Liara. Nee, tatsächlich noch nicht. Ist aber jetzt nicht auch nicht unbedingt etwas, das mich großartig reizt. Keine neuen Nachrichten. Okay, alle E-Mails abgehakt. So.